base, nigh, touchdown. The linebacker picked it up. That was not a forward pass. First down and 10, football at the 41. Potts cutting to the outside. Grayson Potts bounces out 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. Potts, end zone, touchdown. Back to pass. Magdano steps up again to the outside Simmons. Look what he does after the catch. Down that sideline, dances. He's gone. Marcus Simmons, touchdown, Millionaires.
Play action by Watkins, rolling to his right, throws wide open, touchdown! From the gun, drops back the pass, looks, throws over the middle in the end zone, circus catch in the end zone for a touchdown!
First quarter, on their third play from scrimmage, quarterback Brent Burley's pass gets picked off by Logan Ott and returned for a touchdown to put the Warriors up 7-0. Dylan Mull goes off left tackle, finds a seam, and takes it to the house, putting the Warriors up 14-0.
Indians going on 4th and 5 in the 10. Throw into the end zone. Wilt, touchdown Muncie. The Indians drive 62 yards. Action. Golden good. Back to pass. Got a man there going up. What a catch. 25, 20, 15, 10. Touchdown. 67 yards.
Throw and possibly a completion.
Here comes South on 4th down. Flick, throw to the end zone. That ball is caught. Cole Lynch, touchdown. It's down here to the right. They come Altner, winner. Big hole in the middle. The fullback running inside the 5. Touchdown. Mounties.
Welcome to Touchdowns and Tailgates, powered by the Fairfield Auto Group, and a shout out to Rick Quigley and his gang. They make this possible every week, and we're up here at STA Stadium, and I got Coach Chuck Cruz with me this week to open the show. Hey, Coach.
How you doing?
Excellent. Always good to see you, my friend.
Oh, pleasure to be seen.
So many things we could talk about. Do we want to talk about football or everything else?
Listen, like I said, this is your dime. You can talk about whatever you want.
Let's start with the Williamsport Millionaires. A couple wins in a row. Things are looking good. We're going to stay positive here. Obviously, you lost Heisman Trophy candidate to go along with Connor Watkins. Let's start with that. Can you believe the number of kids injured in our area this year as far as top football players?
Well, I mean, it's part of the game, you know what I mean? And injuries, you know what I mean, hopefully they aren't forever. I think the only injury we really need to be concerned about is Caleb Leone out in Jersey Shore. Shouts out to him and his family, and hopefully he makes a speedy and full recovery. But any injury that you could walk away from is okay, and I feel it's part of the game. And it's up to the teams to adjust their game plans, their strategies, and adapt and overcome.
Well said, my friend, and there's not anything I can add to that. And we're going to go up to Jersey Shore next week and spend some time with the Bulldogs. So,
hey, just know we're 20 strong here in Williamsport.
20
we're
strong.
Pulling for you.
Absolutely, and good news coming out. We're doing a little better each week, it seems, and that's great news. Best news we can talk about here today.
Indeed.
So, hey, no matter what you say in football, it's next man up.
And true.
So, let's talk about the Williamsport Millionaires. I watched the game. I love that Web Weekly Live stuff. I can watch 2 games. I can have a little cold refreshment, if you know what I mean. I don't get in any trouble.
Right.
So,
indeed.
but the Millionaires, I was most impressed. We could talk about quarterback Joe and his leadership. I was most impressed with your defense and how they stepped up.
Well, people have been giving the defense a raw deal, all season long, as if we don't practice these things. So finally, we're coming together with that. The kids are starting to understand their role and where they fit into the scheme. We're getting to the ball. We're getting to the ball more violently, and we're getting to the ball as a group. So that's always a good thing.
The more violently thing, I definitely agree with. The hitting I was watching Friday night, and I got a great view at home. My dog's next to me, and I'm there in a big screen TV. But the hitting.
Wait, you were watching on Web Weekly, right?
Web Weekly Live.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
But anyway,
shout out.
Thank you. But that was one thing that was obvious. And after number 3 left the game, it seemed to go up another level, the contact. And it was impressive. I was waiting for that. I know you were waiting for that.
Well, we always knew that it was there. You know what I mean? So it was just a matter of time. It was like, all right, now great, you guys finally are ready to come around and smack some people. And then when we go into every game outnumbered. So we can't go in there outgunned. So we have to level the odds and level the playing field by being more aggressive and being relentless. And that's what you saw. It seemed like pretty much after every play, somebody was slow to get up for those guys. And they had a sideline full of people. But everybody was slow to get up from time to time. That's okay. That's a testament to how hard we played that night.
And the energy level kept going up too. Just a well played all around game by the Millionaires.
Thank you.
Pittston this week.
Yes.
I don't know a whole lot about Pittston. Give me a quick overview of the Patriots, correct?
Yes. They're very similar to Scranton in scheme. Almost identical. Of course, the execution will be a tad bit different. The players will be different, but the scheme itself will be very similar, so we can go in hopefully with a similar mindset that will allow us to have some success both offensively and defensively. I know we were talking how well the defense played. Offense scored points when we had to, but we also left a lot of points on the field. So we want to make sure that we're continuing to capitalize on the opportunities that we get, be it a short field from a block punt or an interception or a fumble recovery. We want to make sure that we're always capitalizing and being opportunistic. That's what good football teams do.
Absolutely. And anybody you want to let me kick it over to you. Anything you want to talk about?
Well, this lovely weather we're having.
Oh, my
here,
gosh.
right?
We've been waiting for this all year.
And as we're looking out here at SCA Stadium, we have the Millionaire cross-country team getting in some track work. We got the Millionaire varsity basketball team down there. Can we get a shout out to Coach T down there? That's Coach T. He's my mentor and
Coach
idol.
Taylor.
Shouts out to Coach T. There he is, the GOAT. All right, Coach Fletch right along with him. Like, this is what it's all about.
Coach Alan Taylor, I know him my whole life.
Indeed. Well, listen, I've known him about 4 years. I feel like I've known him my whole life.
He's the best dressed coach in the state of Pennsylvania.
All right, that makes me number 2, and I'm okay.
I agree. We'll put you 2.
No. We're just, listen, it's a good time to be here. We want to make sure that it's high school sports, ladies and gentlemen. And some of the comments that we see on the Web Weekly Live and on the Facebook feed, listen, they're not the Steelers. You know what I mean? Talk about those guys who get $1 million, multi-million-dollar signing bonuses. The only people that you can talk about, only person you can talk about here is me. I'm the only person that's paid to be out here, right? And if you think I'm well compensated, that's a relative term, but I will take your criticism. Leave these boys alone. Stop talking about what they can't do and tell them what they can do. Be positive to, with, and for them. Say what you want about me. Don't talk about my coaches, and certainly don't talk about these boys, because they're out here for the love of the game. And for anybody who's going to criticize the 35 ball players that we have, I ask you, where's your son? You know, where's your grandson? Where's your nephews? You know what I mean? Kick them off the couch and send them on out here, and let's see how quick you would be to criticize these 35 young men who sacrificed all summer to be out here so that you have something to do on a Friday evening. So I apologize if it sounds a little, but it is getting very tiresome to see some of the things that are written about young men when your sons are not out here and nowhere to be found.
You know how I feel about social media. The world would be a lot better place without it.
Nah, well, we need it. You know what I mean? We need it. We need something to electronically wipe our behinds with. You know what I mean?
There you go. But I agree with you 100%. And the time and effort, let me start with coaches. I mean, you know the time and effort that goes in on your end. You guys probably make a quarter an hour if you figure it out at the end of the year. Number 2, the players. I mean, they're high school kids. They got so much going on in their life at this time. And then they find time for the weight room, find time for summer, find time for everything to come out here a few Friday nights a year.
Right.
And, you know, I don't think people understand the time and effort. And it's like I say in baseball. In baseball, I said nobody wants to strike out. Nobody wants to miss a tackle or drop a ball.
Right.
You know, it just isn't that way.
But if you never swing, you never get that
That's
hit,
right.
You know?
So,
and that's what it all boils down to. These are the ones that are out here trying. And those are the ones you're going to be upset with. These are the ones you're going to criticize. And it's not everybody, but it's at this point in the season, I've seen too many things and I've heard too many things about young men, about boys, that it's just not acceptable.
Agreed. And we'll move on here.
Please.
Well, I'll tell you where I'm going to be Friday night.
All right. I'm
going to be in that recliner. The dog is going to be next to me.
All
I'm going to be watching the Millionaires in Pittston.
All right.
Web Weekly Live.
Indeed.
My team of Paul and Paul have the game.
All right.
And I enjoy it. So good luck to you Friday night. We'll get some Millionaire players out here and do a little interview into them. And always great seeing you, Coach.
Pleasure's all mine. Thank you for everything.
Little commercial break. We'll be right back.
Over the years, this area has seen its share of ups and downs. And for the past 30 years, our employees have been dedicated to making sure your investment in your vehicle goes a long way, from sales to service. And we promise that same level of commitment for the next 30 years. It's your time, Central Pennsylvania. You deserve a fair deal. Fairfield. You're gonna love us.
And we're back here at STA Stadium. I got some Millionaires with me. Why don't you folks introduce yourself and we'll go from there.
I'm Joe Fagnano. I'm a senior and I'm a quarterback at Williamsport Millionaires.
I'm Marcus Simmons. I'm a senior wide receiver and I also play defensive back.
I'm Drake Mankey. I'm a junior and I play inside linebacker and running back.
We'll start here with quarterback Joe. We got your name pronunciation, everything down right. And I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So,
okay, good,
hey,
good.
It's ups and downs. Been a tough year. I don't want to talk a lot about it, but Trayson's probably not is out of the lineup as of right now. You've been as steady as a rock. Tell me about what it's been like as a quarterback. Different starting lineups, different things going on, and it's all been on your shoulders.
Well, I mean, at the quarterback position, really, it doesn't matter who you have out there. Like, your job doesn't change. It's just, spread the ball, run the team well, just do your job.
And I like your leadership ability, and coming off a couple wins in a row now, building a little momentum. How you feeling about this week?
I mean, definitely getting the wins is like a huge momentum. Getting the wins, helps the younger guys out, and especially the seniors. It just, you want to roll with it.
Gotcha. How about you, my man? You're the playmaker out there, right?
Yeah.
Little bit roles are changing, things are changing. How do you focus? What are you thinking about?
Well, first, I know things are going to need to be changed. Trace and I being in the lineup right now, so I might play a little bit of tailback, as Coach Brown texted me earlier today during school.
Well, you know what, Coach Webb? Coach, I used to coach a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I coached at halftime?
What's that?
Put you at tailback. So anyway, just at halftime in the last game when I knew Trayson probably wasn't going to be back, I thought that would be a good move.
Yeah.
And I see all kinds of opportunities for you with him slipping out of the backfield because it's a lot harder to cover him coming out of there. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
I put my coach's hat here for a minute. Keep going.
No, I mean, my role just changes a little bit as far as me where I'm going to play at on offense. I'll be moved around a lot. So this week in practice, I'll just have to prepare myself mentally and physically. Keep my body in shape, know that I'm going to have to switch out, certain plays or whatnot to, get the ball. And, I mean, it just...
All right, I got to put you on the spot. I'm standing here thinking how I've watched you growing up over the years. You competed in basketball against Hunter when you were younger and a little football. And you do an outstanding job at a hardwood, an outstanding job on the turf. What's your favorite?
My favorite, my first love was basketball, so I'll definitely stick with basketball. Football is something I've always done too, so it goes hand in hand, but I had to say basketball.
One helps make you better at the other, right?
Yeah.
Let's pass it on over here. How you liking the way the season's gone so far?
Oh, it's been great.
What's your favorite part of football?
The tackling, definitely. I love hitting people as an inside linebacker, and I love making plays and all that.
And I get the linebackers every week, and the one thing every linebacker has in common is they just like to hit people. I guess that sort of goes, Joe, doesn't it? You got to have that DNA, don't you? You just want to hit people if you're a linebacker.
Yeah, you got to be a solid dude to play inside linebacker, and that's exactly what Drake is.
All right, so tell me, season's rolling along now. From the defensive perspective, from your perspective, defense gave up some points early. It seems to be getting better and better each week. How do you feel about it?
Well, we're just trying to get that goose egg, We're every practice we're always trying to run to the ball pursuit and be physical and all that. So hopefully one of these days we'll get that goose egg.
Well, I think you're doing a great job working to a goose egg, and it's a lot harder in high school football, it seems, today to get a goose egg. But any big hits Friday night?
Any big hits for me?
Yeah, did you light anybody up?
Some.
All right. So you're going in to watch some film about this week's opponent. Do you know much about him?
Not much right now, but coach, it's the coach's job, to get us ready for this game, and I'm sure it'll be just like every other week. Just go in there, watch film, get mentally prepared.
Get mentally prepared, and coming down the stretch here, there's no easy games, is there?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, once you get down the stretch, people are getting tired, people getting banged up, but you always got to fight through in this sport, so it should be fun.
Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
No, not right now. No.
How about that O-line?
Oh, the O-line, of course. On my team, of course, the O-line, they always help me out, stepping up in the pocket. Every yard I get is their yards too, so it's...
Were you thinking about your girlfriend because the coaches busted on you earlier in the year?
No.
All right, moving on. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Shout out to Trey right now, speedy recovery. Hopefully he can get back with us. And he gets back to 100% and healthy. So that's my.
Hopefully he does.
Yeah.
And thoughts and prayers are with Trey. That's such a tough thing. We saw Colin Watkins go down. Now we got Trey. I mean, those two guys everybody was excited in the area, no matter what color you wore, to watch those guys play. So
definitely.
Thank you. Move on down to you. Shout out to anybody?
Well, especially Trey. Like, he always inspired me to be a running back, and I always saw that he did great things, and it's one of the reasons why I want to be a running back too. Especially Ian Welshans. I saw he made some great hits when I watched film from the game. And Blaze, he made some great hits too. Brock, he covered a lot of people in that game. So mostly all the defense.
You gave your time to him to cover the shout-outs, right? That's good. Anybody else? No, that's good stuff.
No. Just all the defense players. They did a great job.
What are you doing next year? Do you know?
Hopefully, I will be running back next year, and I'm going to work hard over the summer to be a running back, and hopefully start. Definitely want to keep my inside linebacker position for senior year, and that's about it.
And I think there's great opportunity there for you. I think Millionaires is going to be fine next year. How about you? Know what you're going to do next year?
Undecided right now. Definitely go on and play college football is my choice that I've made, where I want to go on and play in the collegiate level. So somewhere university that fits me good to play college.
I'm sure you'll have opportunities. Joe, we got to come back to you with our last question. Anything yet?
No, not right now. I guess everybody will just have to keep waiting. I know I get a lot of questions about that, but it's coming soon, I guess.
I'm going to make it my goal to find you home for next year, because you can definitely play D1 football, son. So, hey, good luck Friday night. We'll be right back.
I play softball, fast mass.
We play soccer, fast mass.
I swim and play track, fast mass.
We play hockey, fast mass.
And I'm back with Dr. Chris Massey from the Sun-Gazette. Good to see you, like every week.
Yeah, always a pleasure.
Usually by this time, we're heading into week 7, correct?
Yeah.
And usually by this time, things are starting to take shape.
Mm-hmm.
This year, things are sort of taking unshape.
Yeah, it's hard to figure anything out.
Give me an overview of what you saw last weekend.
Well, sadly, the story keeps being injuries.
Yes.
And, Trace and Potts this week at Williamsport, Coleman Good at Muncie, still waiting on his status. So it's just all these great players just keep getting hurt, and it's throwing everything into chaos right now. And it's making things really up for grabs.
And for anybody out there that doesn't know about Coleman Good, he is a fantastic football player. Great quarterback, great defensive player, and he would be like the Heisman Trophy winner in college, and he might go on to play professional football.
Yeah.
But right now, he's a heck of a high school football player.
Yeah, because he does everything. He's a great leader. He's a 4-year starter at quarterback and safety. He's like the quarterback in their secondary, mobile threat. Just it's hard to replace a guy like that.
And why I'm going there is he might be the third premier player. We know Connor and Trayson are the first two, but Coleman Good may be the third premier player in our area.
It's
at the small school level, obviously. But
and then you go to Lewisburg and they lose Dylan Farinato, and it's been brutal this year. It's unfortunate.
And it's no fun for anybody.
No, I mean, you feel bad for them, and selfishly, as a fan, you feel bad for yourself that you don't get to see them play.
One thing is as my kids played over the years, no matter what sport it was, we always looked forward to seeing the best players on the other team and playing against the best players and measuring up. And it's no fun when they're not in the lineup.
No, I've never seen a year like this in 20 seasons doing the job, and I hope I never see a season like it again with the injuries.
Can we do a do-over maybe somehow?
I wish.
Because I hate Connor to lose his year and Trayson. And maybe we do a do-over with Williamsport and Little Sock playing too.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Hey, let's move on to what is happening. let's start. Why don't we start with it? We'll go top 5 here, and we can cover a lot of it right within that.
Yeah. New number 1, Canton.
The Canton Warriors move into the top 5.
First time ever. They beat the number 1 team. They beat Muncie 18-0, and even before Coleman Good got hurt, they were bottling him up. He was 1 for 9 at that point. So I think even if Coleman Good stays in the game, Canton wins, and they got something special going on up there right now.
They do, and they're undefeated. And just so everybody knows, Doc Massey and myself, we got to give love all the way around.
Yeah.
So we understand there's schools of different sizes and teams of different level when they play different schedules.
Absolutely.
But we try to pass the love around and give the love where it's deserved, you know?
Yeah, because obviously if a Williamsport or a Montoursville plays Canton, Williamsport or Montoursville is going to win that game. Yeah.
You're gonna pick you? No, I'm just
And that's
kidding.
why I always tell people is I got to kind of treat them standard to what their competition level is.
And I always tell you, I don't know if I've ever told you on the camera, I always compliment you on how well you do giving that 15 minutes of fame to everybody across the area and the story within the story.
Yeah, I try.
Not many of the high school kids are going on at the next level to play, and you manage to no matter what school it is. Number 2.
Montoursville.
The Montoursville Warriors.
And I thought about putting them number 1, but I know Coach Kiefer was unhappy with some of the sloppiness against Milton, so I kept them at number 2. But they still won 45-6, so it's nice to be upset but still have a 45-6 win.
So anybody that thinks Montoursville should be number 1, Coach Kiefer wanted them to be kept
I'm
at
sure,
number 2.
I'm sure he doesn't mind at all, especially because it's been a lot of bad luck for whoever gets it this year.
And Gary Chrisman will be out of town, but Babe Mayer and Ken Sawyer, they'll have the Montoursville at Danville game.
That's going to be a great game.
It's going to be a great game this Friday night. So number 3.
Number 3, Williamsport. And
the Millionaires.
They lose Trace and Potts, and God willing, he's able to play again this season. But the good news for them was how well the defense played against Scranton. That had been a unit that had struggled all season long, and that's kind of what won them the game, especially in the fourth quarter.
And I feel good for them because they've taken a lot of, even though they're high school kids, people don't understand the time, the effort, and they're high school kids. They've taken a lot of criticism, and they've kept fighting, and they're getting better, which I thought they would in the beginning of the year, but they really came through big this past Friday night.
Yeah, and that's a huge development, especially if Trayson's going to miss a lot of time. It's going to take a collective effort on both sides of the ball to replace him, and it's a unit that got better 2 years ago when they went to the state quarters. Last year it got better as the season goes on, so they got good coaches, they got good hard-working kids, so that could be the start of something good for them.
Well, I volunteered my time to help Coach Brown out as long as he moves Marcus Simmons into the backfield a little bit, so just so you know.
He's
I
a
would
guy
love to do that.
Especially with Trayson out there, they're going to want the ball in his hands a lot.
Number 4.
Number 4 is Wellsboro, who keeps their second half magic this year has been something like I haven't seen before. They were down 21-0 against Athens, win 35-28. Their last 4 games, they've been down or trailing at half, down or tied at the half, and they've outscored those teams 112-7. So that's pretty remarkable.
That is pretty remarkable for anybody. And Wellsboro, quality programs year in, year out. We talk about that, baseball, basketball, football. Out of the northern tier teams, they're probably been consistently the best athletically the last few years.
Yeah, and they've done in other sports. They haven't really done it in football yet, but baseball and basketball have had success outside of the NTL as well, and that's what I think the football team's aiming for now.
Fantastic. Last but not least,
Muncie.
The Muncie Indians.
Yeah, and it depends on how hopefully Coleman Good's not lost for the season. I think he's definitely going to miss some time. And they moved Colby Moyer, who's a really good tight end. Now he plays quarterback, and I think he's got a decent arm. He can handle that, but you wonder how much that affects the passing game because now he's not a receiver, and now you lose Coleman Good in the secondary. They've got some big adjustments to make, but they're still pretty good. They're pretty physical. They hung in with Canton. So it'd be foolish, I think, to dismiss Muncie at this point. I still think they're going to be dangerous.
We got Montgomery this week in that rivalry.
That's going to be
battle.
a tough game.
That's going to be a tough game. They got to get things turned around. I shouldn't say turned around. They got the domino effect in high school football. Not many teams have enough athletes. When you start moving one, there's usually that domino effect that it affects so many positions.
Yeah, and that'll be key to see how they respond to that.
Now on to the player of the week.
And we'll go Blaze McClements from Williamsport. not the biggest nose tackle, but he plays big. 2 sacks, forced a fumble, recovered a fumble, and filled in at running back and had 58 yards and a touchdown. So great all-around game.
Good hard-nosed kid, works hard, plays hard. Great choice. Great choice. And while we're on that, my team of the week is the Jersey Shore Bulldogs. The Bulldogs have had a lot of adversity up there and fought through it. They're my Web Weekly team of the week. We'll feed them some pizza. But they got a little 2-game winning streak going on.
And that was a good win over a Shamokin team. As a bee tries to sting me. Over a good Shamokin team that had just pasted Lewisburg the week before. So traditionally Jersey Shore gets a lot better as the season goes on, and it looks like they're doing it again. And I think it'll come down to them in Selinsgrove again in 4A.
I do too. And Coach Gravish seems to find a way, by the end of the year. And thank you for keeping the statistics. I don't know if everybody knows this out there, but without you, there wouldn't probably be football statistics for the area. And you've kept them since 2000?
Yeah, since 1999,
Since
actually.
1999.
It's been a while.
Thank you for that.
Hey, my
Appreciate
pleasure.
it, and I look forward to seeing it every week in the Sun Gazette. We're going to head down to Gary Chrisman. He's down there with Coach Kiefer and some Montoursville Warriors, and they got their work cut out for them, don't they?
It's going to be a barn burner. The number 1 and 2 teams in the AAA standings right now. Going to be a good one.
We'll take a commercial break, and we'll get Gary down in Montoursville.
Over the years, this area has seen its share of ups and downs. And for the past 30 years, our employees have been dedicated to making sure your investment in your vehicle goes a long way, from sales to service. And we promise that same level of commitment for the next 30 years. It's your time, Central Pennsylvania. You deserve a fair deal. Fairfield. You're gonna love us.
Hey, we're back. Touchdowns and tailgates, the game of the week. Cable Sports will be there. J.C. Kiefer, wow, 5-1. Danville 5-1, doesn't get any better than that. Should be fun. You guys are playing at a high level right now. Got to be pleased.
Yeah, we're playing good football. I think this will be the probably the most athletic team that we've seen, up until this point as a whole. They have a bunch of really, really good athletes running around out there. So we're pretty pleased with where we're at right now, but continuing to improve. This is a marathon, not a sprint, so we just want to be better this week than we were last week, and we'll take that.
Certainly one of the things you had talked about a couple of weeks ago, a team having fun, team with chemistry. You knew you had something last year, and now they're playing together and they're enjoying themselves.
Absolutely, and I think that's the main thing. You know what I mean? Having fun playing this game. It's not. We put so much emphasis on the weight room and hard work, and so these kids work really hard. But we spend some time together, off the field. We watched the Water Boy last Thursday night after practice, after pasta night, and those are things that we just want to spend some time together off the field because we fight for each other on the field. So it's just a fun group to be around, and so far so good. I think that has a lot to do with our success.
One guy that's really having a great year, number 12, Hunter Shear, and he's become your leader and playing well, really efficient back there, running the show, and seems to be the leader you needed to take charge of this offense.
Yeah, he's doing what we're asking him to do. You know what I mean? Now the team has put him in some good positions. There were times last year where we're falling behind and we're trying to ask a young quarterback to do some things that no quarterback could do. So I think that the positions that our football club has put Hunter in has really helped him to improve. But he has done a tremendous job. He watches a lot of film. Him and I communicate a lot throughout the week about some clips that he's seen. What coverages is this team running on this clip, and I'll go back and watch it and help him out with that. And that's really separated him from himself last year to this year, is really his preparation going into that week.
Of course, anytime you have 3 tailbacks, 3 fullbacks you go to, depth is a key. And certainly that wore down Loyalstock a couple of weeks ago.
It is a key, and it's something that we're blessed to have. I'll put any 3 of those tailbacks in at any point in time. We even have another tailback, a young kid as a 9th grader who's close to helping out as well once he understands the system a little bit. So we have 3 or 4 guys there that that's why we don't have 100-yard rushers. Nobody's getting more than 8-10 carries a game because they're each getting 6, 7, 8, 10 carries a game. So that depth has really helped us because those guys are also playing defense, so it enables them to stay fresh on both sides of the ball, and I think that's been key for us.
Everybody knew about Loganot. How about Dylan Mall? You talk about a game breaker, whether he's catching the ball, running the football, good speed, only a sophomore number 2. This guy's exciting.
Yep, Dylan can fly. He's a little small, so he's not really our between the tackles type of guy, but he will do that. He plays big. He's not afraid of anything. So Logan's more of our between the tackles who also has speed. Dylan's more of a scat back. We throw it to him in space, throw some smoke screens to him. Against Loyalsock, he took a little smoke screen to the house and just blew by everybody. So he's definitely a playmaker, and he's really electric once you get the ball in his hands.
Defensively, you swarm to the ball. You're going to need it this week against Danville. Let's talk about defensively, how you match up your key guys against a pretty explosive Danville offense.
It's an interesting matchup. I'm excited about it. They have some electric playmakers on both sides of the ball. They have some super fast kids. Persing, number 17, is a track guy who flies all over the place. But we have some athletes too, and we think that we can hopefully match up with them. In that category. It's just going to be a matter, can we buzz our feet and tackle out in space? That's going to be really the important thing that you're going to see this week.
Okay, key. What do you have to do outside of tackling well? What is the key for the Warriors to win this game, win number 6?
Well, I think that's probably the main thing. Is tackling. They're going to run. Their offense looks a lot like ours, so we try to put guys in position that we get our skilled guys out in space where they're one-on-one, and if we can make the one-on-one tackles, and we can, on the other side of the ball, if we can break the one-on-one tackles, I think that's going to be, you're going to see a big difference. Danville against Central Columbia last Friday night had, I think, 4 touchdowns of 50-plus yards, whether it was an interception return for a touchdown, the quarterback in the gun running for a touchdown, an explosive pass for a touchdown. They are a play-making offense. So if we can limit them to just a couple explosive plays and make them drive down the field, I think that's going to be key for us.
JC, good luck. Let's get number 6.
Thank you. Sounds good.
We've got more touchdowns and tailgates. We come right back.
Over the years, this area has seen its share of ups and downs. And for the past 30 years, our employees have been dedicated to making sure your investment in your vehicle goes a long way, from sales to service. And we promise that same level of commitment for the next 30 years. It's your time, Central Pennsylvania. You deserve a fair deal. Fairfield. You're gonna love us.
Hey, we're back here at Memorial Stadium. The game this week in cable sports, the Rennie Road Armor All-State game, the Warriors and the Ironmen in Danville. Connor Morse, Logan Ott, Dylan Mall, guys. I know this is big, especially Connor. You worked your way into the starting lineup, linebacker. Not big, but you play bigger. This is huge against a Danville team. As a senior, it's got to mean a lot.
Yeah, it means a lot, like a lot.
Getting into the starting role, you've worked hard for it. What's that been like, getting there knowing that you're getting the start?
It's been really tough, but I'm finally here, and it feels great. I'm hoping just to keep going, pushing on, keep doing great.
Yeah, we did the game a couple weeks ago. You're making plays, flying around, having fun against Loyalsock. Logan Ott seems like a veteran, and he's only a junior, and also a heck of a baseball player. Logan, this has got to feel good as you get ready to play against the Danville Ironmen this week. Tell me about playing Danville again. You've been there before.
Yep. Freshman year, I think we beat them with Bryson and Nolan and Mitchell and Tom. I think we beat them at their place, and then last year, coming off a bad season, we lost. But this season, we're hoping to have the same season as our freshman season and just go down there and have a good game with them.
How does it feel when you've got a guy as a sophomore, Dylan Mall, who's he's getting in space, catching screens, going 49 against Loyalsock, running the football, making big plays.
Yep.
He's just a kid. How do you feel? You were doing that when you were a freshman and sophomore.
Yep, it's really good for having us 3 running backs that rotate in and out to keep us all fresh, and to have a guy like him right behind me and then right in front of me some games. It's really good to keep us fresh.
How long have you wanted, Dylan, to be a Warrior? Hey, you grew up as a little kid here in the borough and think, my turn's coming. I'm in elementary school. I'm looking up to was there a guy you looked up to when you were a kid that you wanted to be like?
Keith Bukowski.
That's a pretty good guy to look up to.
Yep. I watched him for a long time on the fence down there, and every game I just always wanted to get out there and get after it.
So he was your favorite player. Do you know Keith?
Yeah, I know Keith.
So he was a guy now, he's probably pumping you up. I know he's playing it like coming.
Yep.
How do you feel coming into a big game like this, hostile environment, you're playing in Danville? Does that pump you up going in? Because it doesn't seem like you have any nerves at all now.
No, not anymore. I mean, you'll get the butterflies once in a while, but other than that, you just go out and play your game, and, your team's got your back and everything.
What do you think the key is going to be this week for your team offensively?
Keep the penalties limited and just hold on to the football and not turn the ball over.
Logan, you've got Hunter Shear playing at a high level. He's really turned into be a heck of a leader. You know, he may flare that ball out, throw the football, or he's going to hand it off to one of a number of backs, fullback and tailback. Let's talk about Hunter Shear.
Yeah, he really grew up in the past couple of years, right behind Bryson. You know, he's followed in Bryson's footsteps a lot, and he's lifting a lot. He's getting a lot better in conditioning, and he's just making the right reads, and he's throwing the ball right away instead of waiting in the pocket more.
And offensively, Danville's very good. What do you know about Danville, and what do you think you're going to have to do as linebacker this week?
So we know that Danville likes to pass and likes to pass a lot. So that's going to be one thing that the backs are going to need to cover. And also they'll switch back into number 17 as their quarterback, and they're going to have him run. And I've looked at the film, he runs all over the place, so we're going to have to stop that.
You guys fired up? You ready to go?
I'm ready.
Yes, sir.
Warriors, let's get one more, guys. Congratulations, the great start, and good luck this week.
Thank you.
All right, guys, good luck. Touchdowns and tailgates. Ken Sawyer and Babe Mayer will call the play-by-play in Cable Sports. We'll have it for you from Danville, 6:25 pregame. For the Warriors, I'm Gary Crispin. Touchdowns and tailgates. At the 41, Potts. Cutting to the outside. Grayson Potts bounces out 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. Potts, end zone, touchdown. Back to pass. Magnano steps up again to the outside Simmons. Look what he does after the catch. Down that sideline, dances. He's gone. Marcus Simmons, touchdown, Millionaires.
Play action by Watkins, rolling to his right, throws wide open, touchdown! From the gun, drops back to pass, looks, throws over the middle in the end zone, circus catch in the end zone for a touchdown.
First quarter, on their third play from scrimmage, quarterback Brent Burley's pass gets picked off by Logan Ott and returned for a touchdown to put the Warriors up 7-0. Dylan Mall goes off left tackle, finds a seam and takes it to the house, putting the Warriors up 14-0.
Indians going on 4th and 5 at the 10. Throw into the end zone. Wilt. Touchdown, Muncie. The Indians drive 62 yards. Action. Golden good. Back to pass. Got a man there going up. What a catch. 25, 20, 15, 10. Touchdown. 67 yards.
Throw and possibly a completion.
Here comes South on 4th down. Flip. Throw to the end zone. That ball is caught. Full Lynch, touchdown. It's down here to the right. They come Altner, Winner. Big hole in the middle. The fullback running inside the 5, touchdown. Brownies.